Hello wrestling fans, welcome to the Wrestling Wrap-Up. I am your host, the Megastar Austin Savage. As many longtime viewers of this show will notice, I am not wearing my trademark sunglasses today. For many reasons, everybody says it's a distraction for some reason to watch a video of a guy who's wearing sunglasses. I'm going to try to look into the camera as much as I can. I am going to be reading from notes, as always, so if I don't look at the camera enough, I apologize. This is episode 34 of the show, and I'm going to be talking about Raw this past week, and then I'm going to get to some stuff from WrestleZone.com. Raw notes. Cena coming to Punk's defense, calling out Vince, to me, was great television. But, you know, why did they bother to have a number one contenders match when at the end of the show they just brought Punk back, reinstated him, and gave him his match in Chicago at Money in the Bank? If Punk wins, Vince will fire John Cena in the middle of the ring immediately following the match. To me, this is a win-win, because I love Punk and I fucking hate John Cena. I'm really getting tired of this whole R-Truth conspiracy storyline. If it's not going anywhere, end it, and I don't know what you do with R-Truth after that. Santino Kozlov versus Otunga and McGillicuddy was actually a good tag team match, except for the whole Cobra thing, which I've gone on and on about that for weeks now, that I hate the Cobra. It's fucking stupid. It's comedy. Comedy doesn't put an ass every 18 inches. Wrestling does. Sergeant Slaughter and Jack Swagger. Did anybody really think Sarge was going to beat the All-American Jack Swagger? Really? It was a good match. I mean, I totally expected Swagger to win. Kelly and E versus Twin Magic, which is what I'm going to call the Bella Twins on this show from now on, because I think that's an ingenious name. That's what they should have been called from the get-go. That was a good match. And Kelly, in my opinion, just keeps getting better and better week after week. Now that she's the Divas Champion, she really needs to step up her game and be the Divas Champion and be the benchmark for the Divas division. The Vince Cena promo that closed the show was great. Great TV. I liked everything about this. I liked everything about the show in general, and this has probably been the best Raw in months. And, you know, I don't buy a lot of WWE pay-per-views because, as a whole, they suck. I was very disappointed with WrestleMania, which was the last one I bought. I am going to buy this one because I want to see the Punk Cena match. And and I'm not going to get pissed off if Cena loses. If Punk loses. I just want it to be entertaining. I want the match to be entertaining. I want the whole show to be entertaining. And that's what the WWE is. It's entertainment. It's not pro wrestling. Now I want to move on to some stuff from WrestleZone.com. Pardon me while I straighten my papers out here. The title of the forum post was CM Punk and his fans' hypocrisy, posted by Styles Clash 316. First of all, what an interesting name. I wonder where you came up with that. He starts it out by saying, "You are being warned. I am about to tick off a lot of you CM Punk marks. If you are highly sensitive, I suggest that you please do not continue reading. If this is coming from my heart and is purely subjective, I could be wrong." Well, before I read on, Styles Clash 316, I'm going to tell you that you are wrong. And, you know, you go on to say that you're not going to pull any punches and blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? Longtime viewers of this show will tell you that I never pull punches. I tell people exactly how I feel about things, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about this. And if you can read my shirt, it says "Proud to be straight edge," which I am. I have the word straight edge tattooed right here on my arm. I have the words drug-free tattooed on my knuckles. I am very proud to be straight edge, and I'm about to take you to task, Styles Clash, so pay attention. You call CM Punk the most overrated superstar in WWE history. One of the most overrated. I will quote you right on this. And you say he comes out to Echoes and only gets heat when he uses cheap tactics. And blah 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 blah, on and on and on. You say you're a member of the internet wrestling community. You're a smart mark, a mark, whatever you want to call it. Well, you are a mark. I will give you that. And you don't deny it, which I have to give you credit for. Marks are not in the majority, which, I suppose you're right. You say Punk would make a great face of the company, especially with his charisma, but his in-ring work is sloppy. I won't count the last year because he's been burnt out, but look at this botch right here, and then in the post you tag a video on YouTube where Punk botches the GTS on Rey Mysterio. Moving on, you talk about the homophobic slur that CM Punk made in Australia this past weekend. And this is a direct quote from CM Punk via his Twitter page after the homophobic slur. Marriage is a totally outdated concept. Gay, straight, whatever. The fact that there's a bunch of assholes out there that have an opinion on somebody else's lifestyle and don't want them to have the same basic human rights everybody else has makes me want to clobber some Republicans. Fuck the religious moral majority. Let whoever wants to marry whoever get the fuck married. I love the moral high horse hypocrisy bullshit. I know some super religious pricks do tons of steroids, but a homosexual lifestyle to them is reprehensible. Fuck that. And that is, like I said, a direct quote from CM Punk. Punk and I, along with the straight edge lifestyle, share this view. Let whoever wants to get married fucking get married. Who really gives a shit? Let them suffer like the rest of us. 2 guys, 2 girls, doesn't matter. If a gay couple breaks up and they're not married, they just go their separate ways. They don't fucking lose anything. If they're married, it's community property. They have to sell the house, sell the car, split the money, share the kids. All that shit. Fuck it, let it. You go on to say, LOL, Punk, sit down, you hypocrite. Don't generalize religious people. The only reason why you get to botch moves and moan when you're about to get a belt is because your armed forces are out there. A lot of them are Christians, Muslims, etc. You can say that I'm a typical hypocrite Christian, but don't say all of us. Don't tell me the man who just lost his leg saving an Arab citizen is a hypocrite because he believes in a higher power. Don't tell me the Catholic that runs an orphanage and gave his life for the sake of children is a piece of trash. So go ahead, IWC, Internet Wrestling Community. Defend this scumbag because he's the greatest wrestler in the world, despite the fact that he comes out to Echoes. Okay, Styles Clash. There is so much bullshit in this rant, and that's exactly what it is a rant, that I don't know where to start. Okay, first off, WWE isn't pro wrestling, it's fucking sports entertainment, so there was your first mistake. I'm not a CM Punk mark. I respect the man that Punk is. I respect the lifestyle that we share. We share the same beliefs. I respect the fact that Punk is one of the best wrestlers in the world today, and could probably out-wrestle anybody in the WWE locker room. Straight up wrestling. Now, Mr. Styles Clash 316, have you never made a slip of the tongue? Never said something that got you heat? Because I'll tell you something, if you watch this show, I say a lot of shit that gets me heat. And I don't care. I was a heel my entire 20-year career, except for one night I was a babyface. You know, all I can say if you've never had a slip of the tongue or never said something that got you heat is, wow. Must be nice living in denial. I truly must try it sometime. Punk is not overrated one single bit. Period. He's one of the best in-ring workers in sports entertainment and one of the best wrestlers in the world. When he leaves the WWE and goes back home to ROH, you will see that he is one of the best in the world. And one of the biggest things I have an issue with here is Punk doesn't come out to echoes. He comes out to cheers 95% of the time. Sounds to me that this mark, that would be you, Styles Clash 316, is a seen enough mark. And he can't understand why Punk is so liked and respected in the internet wrestling community and seen enough is not. Punk doesn't botch the GTS as much as you say he does. Sin Cara can't even do his springboard into the ring from his trampoline. He can't do his finisher off the top rope on the first try. That's why they moved his greatly talented ass over to SmackDown, so they can edit out all his botches. You want to pick on somebody for botching, pick on Sin Cara. Okay? And you know, hate Punk all you want, but hate him for fucking legitimate reasons, dude. Seriously, bro? Punk could have been this generation's Hulk Hogan, not John Cena. John Cena is a guy that his motto is hustle, loyalty, and respect. Punk's motto is straight edge. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. My only addiction is competition. What's wrong with that? And it's true. The last thing I want to touch on is Punk versus Cena, a screwjob angle. Who's Brett and who's Shawn Michaels? I'm 99.9% sure that there will be a screwjob in Chicago. And the way I see it happening is probably the most popular choice. Punk defeats Cena, becoming the new WWE Champion. As he's celebrating and getting ready to leave the WWE with the WWE Championship, the winner of the Raw Money in the Bank match, more than likely Del Rio, comes out, cashes in, and wins the title. Vince, I believe, will still fire Cena because he did let him down. But the WWE will still have the WWE title because Mr. Money in the Bank will have cashed in and become the champion. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode of the Wrestling Wrap-Up. I am your host, the Megastar Austin Savage. Email the show, wrestlingwrapup@yahoo.com. Follow me on Twitter, @ProudToBeStraightEdge. I will catch you guys probably tomorrow night after Impact Wrestling. Until then, I'll talk to you later.